Up, guys? I'm Lecky here, and today I'm gonna react to Ezra Miller's downfall. Let's go. Let's do this.
If ever there was a name in Hollywood that screams career self-destruction,
He
wasted
has the
potential,
death
and a
eyes.
personal life that makes
My
Charlie
god.
Sheen look like a model citizen, it has got to be
Ezra Miller, aka the Bengal Ghouls, the Mad Goose Wizard.
from
AKA Reverse Flash, the Demon.
talented indie darling to big budget superhero star, this guy really seemed to have the
I
industry in the
actually
palm
really liked him in Justice League.
of his hand. He had the acting chops, the youth, the chiseled looks of a male model, a willingness to push boundaries and take creative risks, to make gender, sexuality, and fashion into his playthings like a modern day David Bowie. People just couldn't seem
Yes,
to get
that's the poo outfit. The poo outfit.
enough of Ezra
Looks,
Miller, and with his rise to big budget
yep,
franchise
he looks
films,
like poo.
he was poised to become the next big A-list movie star. There was just one small problem. He was a fucking Fruit Loop, and
He was a fucking demon. My god. He's there
before you could
practicing
say red flag, the
WWE moves.
Hollywood dream unraveled into a nightmare of arrests, kidnappings, assault accusations, drug use, crazy religious cults, and complete emotional
I did not know about the cults. Okay.
meltdowns. Ezra Miller didn't just crash and burn, he nuked his fucking career.
I gotta read this. Ezra Miller arrested in Hawaii again for allegedly throwing a chair at woman's head. Woman accused Ezra Miller of hitting her in head with a chair during a 911 call. Ezra Miller pleads no contest to disorderly conduct charge, fined $500 after arrest in Hawaii. Oh my god. The Flash and the Fantastic Beast star Ezra Miller arrested for disorderly conduct and harassment. The Flash star Ezra Miller accused of grooming a teenager in legal dispute. Ezra Miller has now been accused of grooming minors and leading a cult. He's a
From
cult leader.
orbit, going from
That's
Hollywood golden
terrifying.
boy to unemployable pariah. So, let us learn about this particular crash and burn together,
I
shall
wouldn't
we?
trust him with
Ezra
McDonald's.
Matthew Miller was born in New Jersey in 1992, one of three children to Marta Miller, a dancer, and Robert Miller, the president of a major book publisher. A shy kid who suffered from a chronic stutter, Miller enrolled in opera
You know, he doesn't seem like a sociopath in his youth.
classes at the age of 6
what
to
do you
help him
think
overcome the
changed?
impediment, and ended up performing for the Metropolitan Opera in New York. Nice stuff, but his real passion turned out to be acting, and at the age of 16 he landed his first role in the low-budget drama After School, about a teenager who witnesses a pair of girls OD while filming a school project. The movie was a modest success in film circles and got just enough recognition to win him more roles, and the following year he was acting opposite Andy Garcia in the dramedy City
So he's there working normal jobs, acting pretty, normal in his, start of his career.
Islands. But it was the chilling 2011 psychological drama We Need to Talk About Kevin that really put him on the map. Surprise, surprise, Miller plays a troubled teenager who has a dysfunctional relationship with his mother that eventually
So it sounds like based on real events, but okay.
escalates into a full-scale massacre at his
Well, what is
local
he doing?
high school. It's not exactly a fun watch, but credit where credit's due, Miller is superb in it, and more than capable of holding his own against a veteran actor like
Okay.
Tilda Swinton. By now, his star was very much
So-
on the rise, and Miller was gaining
He has that terrifying face that kind of scares me. Like Homelander eyes,
a reputation as the exciting new talent in town, able to play complex and challenging psychological roles, but just as comfortable doing breezy romantic dramas like Madame Bovary and The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Hollywood was taking notice
Like
of
I
Ezra
say,
Miller, and it wasn't long
he
before
looks
bigger roles
terrifying.
started coming his way.
My God.
The first of these was the announcement of his casting as The Flash in Zack Snyder's Doom.
He wasn't that bad as the Flash, I won't lie. Like in the movie The Flash, he was really shit, but I'll say in Justice League he wasn't that bad.
DC universe. In retrospect, it was probably a bad move, but at the time it seemed like a huge opportunity, and whatever you might think about the movies he was actually in, Miller seemed to understand the assignment when it came to playing Barry Allen. He brought just the right amount of nervous energy and neuroticism to the character.
He kind of reminded me of Spider-Man, like Spider-Man's role in the MCU, at least a tiny bit.
Balancing out the stodgy seriousness of the rest of the cast. Unfortunately, Justice League, his first big outing as the character, turned out to be a troubled production. Snyder was forced to bow out halfway through the process, and Joss Whedon's hasty course corrections didn't do much to help the movie, which got roasted by critics and disappointed at the box office.
Didn't he? Main thing was the problem was he looked terrible at running. Like, yeah, he looked gangly.
Still, Miller's momentum didn't seem to be impacted too badly, and his recurring role in the Fantastic Beasts franchise turned out to be just the saving grace.
They kept him in Fantastic Beasts, but they got rid of Johnny Depp. They kept Ezra Miller.
Gracie needed to stay on top. Ezra Miller was still very much in demand, a talented actor whose attention-grabbing outfits,
he's wearing the poo outfit,
daring photo shoots, and weirdly open and self-reflective interviews all played into the image of a vibrant and complex artist just bursting to express himself. Unfortunately, it was all about to come crashing down in spectacular fashion. Accounts of what exactly happened differ depending on the sources, but a lot
this is where the fun begins. Let's see this.
A lot of people seem to agree that the problems really began when Miller's parents announced their divorce in 2019. From there on, his mental health went into a sharp decline. He became isolated, withdrawn, and paranoid. He started wearing a bulletproof vest and carrying a gun wherever he went, convinced that the
What? Why?
KKK were out to get him for some reason. Then came the strangulation video.
What?
In April of 2020, Miller found himself in a bar in Iceland. Hey, we've all been there. When he was confronted by a local woman. His response? Grab her by the neck and force her to the ground in a fucking...
He's practicing WWE moves on strangers. Jesus, what is wrong? What?
Strangleholds. Miller was quickly escorted out by security, and that might well have been the end of it if it wasn't for the video that exploded onto social media. Suddenly he didn't seem like a bold and complex artist willing to challenge stereotypes. He seemed dangerous and unstable, and things were about to get worse from there.
Unstable.
By March of 2022, Miller was in Hawaii and busy making a nuisance of himself with local police by loitering around gas stations, filming people without their permission, starting arguments with random passers-by, and
so he's actively seeking beef. He's actively seeking smoke on a day-to-day basis. What the hell?
Generally acting like a complete fucking weirdo. This all culminated in him getting arrested for disorderly conduct and harassment when he started screaming at people in a bar for the crime of, singing a Lady Gaga song.
Boy.
Escalated quick? Yes. Yes, it has. My god, like, I don't want to blame drugs, but it feels like a lot of this, either he's deeply insane, which I won't lie, that looks what it is, but or he's on a lot of stuff.
That escalated quickly.
The arrest was caught on camera, and again, it didn't do his image any favors.
I'm not transgender, non-binary. I don't want to be searched by a man. I'm trans.
So, what? How does gender make you immune to being searched by a man? Like, that's what I don't understand. It's how does that affect, you know?
Transgender, non-binary, and I don't want to be searched by a man. I claim my Fourth Amendment rights.
You sure?
I don't get to, like, how does transgender and non-binary, I don't know that, but trans means you're the opposite, so how does non-binary say you choose neither? So I don't know.
About that?
trying to think about it.
You
It doesn't
sure about that?
work in my
One
brain.
local couple made the mistake of taking pity on him and bailing him out of jail, which turned out to be a very bad idea indeed because according to them, he stole the wife's passport and the husband's wallet and screamed that he was going to murder them both.
What?
Right.
So he's there he's not just looking for smoke with regular people, he's looking for smoke with nice people as well. Like actively bullying good people that would help him. Jesus.
Miller, complete with a shiny new restraining order slapped on him, fled the
Good.
islands. But
Good,
trouble
he
seemed to
deserves
follow young Ezra wherever he went, and just a few weeks later, he got into another fight and threw a chair which hit a woman in the head and left her needing stitches. Somehow he got...
How did he get... How was he allowed... How did no one stop him?
got off with another disorderly conduct charge, which is kinda wild, because I'm pretty sure they could have nailed him for aggravated assault, but whatever. Fame
should've.
has its perks, I guess.
I
By
guess
now,
so.
Miller had had enough of Hawaii, and I'm pretty sure the feeling was mutual, so he left to return to his farm in Vermont. But just
He has
two
a farm. Oh, okay. Not an island? Not an island?
months later, he found himself embroiled in more legal trouble when the parents of an 18-year-old Native American activist accused him of using, quote, violence, intimidation, threats of violence, fear, paranoia, delusions, and drugs to hold sway over their child. Court documents from the time also claimed that Miller had caused bruises on her body and that he'd groomed and manipulated her from the age of 12.
So he's there manipulating, grooming, and doing all that.
Fuck.
In case you were in any doubt, it was becoming pretty obvious that something was very wrong with Ezra Miller. A former
Really?
resident of his farm explained that Miller believed the girl in question was, quote, an apocalyptic Native American spider goddess, and that he himself was a
What?
reincarnation of Jesus Christ, and together they were going to bring about an indigenous revolution.
Wait a minute. Now, I know people in Hollywood have, like, big egos, but did Ezra Miller actually thought he was like Jesus Christ? What
Damn, man, I know people talk about having a messiah complex, but this dude was the real deal.
Yeah.
That very
Yeah.
same month, another woman was granted a restraining order against Miller, this time in Massachusetts, for brandishing a gun and inappropriate behavior towards her 12-year-old.
So he's straight up supervillain. He's like he's actually a supervillain. He's doing actual villain
daughter.
stuff.
She also claimed that Miller considered the child to be a powerful mystical being who would be
Mystical
lucky to
being.
have Ezra to guide and protect them.
What was his name? Dan Schneider? It's feeling like Dan Schneider's type of stuff.
Shortly before the restraining order was granted, Miller apparently arrived at the family's home dressed as a cowboy and tried to buy horses for the child.
What?
Are you retarded? You know, we can often laugh at the well-deserved downfalls of pompous celebrities in these videos because most of the time
Yeah,
they're
he's
just
reminding me
arseholes
of
who
Michael
overplay their
Jackson,
hand or idiots who failed upwards until they got discovered. But this is getting into actual disturbing territory here. Things were about to take an even darker turn when police showed up at Miller's Vermont farm after claims that he was sheltering a woman and 3 young children there, that guns and ammunition had been left lying around unsecured, that Miller himself was smoking weed and blowing it into a baby's face. The next day, Miller was charged with burglary when he broke into a neighbor's property and stole bottles of booze because I guess a multi-millionaire movie star couldn't afford to buy his own drinks.
He's having a crash out of epic proportions. My God, like he just doesn't care, does he?
Really?
Like I hear absolute power absolutely corrupts. Well, clearly, Ezra Miller was full on corrupt. My God.
Miller would eventually cut a plea deal to avoid the worst of the charges, but the reputational damage was overwhelming, and it wasn't helped by the videos that he kept posting onto social media.
Ezra Miller, aka the Bengal Ghouls, the Mad Goose Wizard. Look, if y'all want to die, I suggest just yourselves with your own guns. keep doing exactly what you're doing right now, and you know what I'm talking about, and then, you know, we'll do it for you if that's really what you want.
He's crazy.
Right.
This was a man unraveling in real time in front of the entire world, and it all happened at the worst possible time for Warner Brothers. They were already fighting a losing battle to save the troubled Flash movie, which was going through major reshoots that had blown the budget up to almost 300.
Man, I feel like Ezra Miller is that, I don't know, that one goofy kid in the class that has no plan but just throws anything to the wall and see what sticks.
$50 million, having the star of what they were trying to market as a family-friendly superhero film get exposed as a psychopath, a predator, and a religious cult leader was basically the final nail in the coffin for The Flash. For a time, there were even serious talks of cutting their losses and cancelling the film altogether. Ultimately though, the best they could do was push back the film's release, limit Miller's social media presence, and quietly shuffle him away from the limelight, desperately hoping that
Honestly, they should have just probably shelved, probably backgirled the Flash movie. Probably just tuck it away, take the tax write-off.
people would somehow forget all the controversies and accusations against him. As it turned out, they didn't. The film bombed big time, and with it went the best chance of saving the DCEU, and the last hopes of salvaging Miller's Hollywood career. All the controversies and meltdowns of 2022 didn't just derail his momentum, they fucking killed it stone dead. In the 3 years since the Flash debacle, Ezra Miller
I honestly can't believe about the cult stuff. It's really messed up.
hasn't appeared in a single movie or TV show of any kind, and there are no real plans.
Well, no, I can believe the cult stuff. It's just, how do I put this? A new Hollywood celebrity starting a cult. It feels more like 2010s or, you know, the 2000s sort of thing, not the, you know, the 20s.
For any upcoming projects, Hollywood might be a haven for weird
Pedro Pascal, isn't he the guy who likes touching women?
weirdos and oddballs, and willing to forgive all manner of transgressions, but there are levels of controversy that even they can't sweep under the rug. For all intents and purposes, Miller is persona non grata in the industry now, too radioactive
He's like the worst version of Peter Pan.
to touch, too unreliable to hire, and without the box office capital and industry clout to get people to care about him again. And it's a shame, really, because there's
Jesus Christ, those eyes. Like, that's the most terrifying outfit
reality
I've ever
where Miller
seen.
was able to forge a successful career as a challenging and unconventional artist, breaking barriers and challenging norms, but it's not this one. Ultimately, for all his talent and potential, Ezra Miller was undone by his own demons and personal hang-ups. He's a sobering reminder that
His own mental health. His mental health doesn't exist. He's insane.
fame isn't for the fragile, that success comes at a cost, and that even Hollywood can only tolerate so much bad behavior from its stars. Anyway,
Yeah, that's a poo outfit.
that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Yes, I will. My God. Well, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.